Hey, this is Mr. Coker with Foundations of Algebra Lesson 3.1, Simplifying Square Roots with Just Numbers. The next video will deal with simplifying square roots when there are variables included. But when we just have numbers, it's pretty easy as long as you know the perfect squares. So the example I'm going to use is going to be the number 50. Square root of 50. So the square root of 50 is not simplified. It's a square root of 50, and we're going to see how would you simplify that down so that it's in its most simple form. To do this, we're going to look for do two numbers that multiply to make 50. So we want one of them to be a perfect square, and one of them is not going to be a perfect square in most cases. So if we've got 50, there are of course a number of different combinations of numbers that multiply to make 50. And a couple of prerequisites that kind of would help to be strong in before you do simplifying square roots is knowing your perfect squares. I made a list of them here, and you can look those up anywhere, really online, if you need a list of them to study. And also it helps to be good at factoring. In general, in math, it helps to be good at factoring. So I'm going to start with factors of 50. I'm just going to name a few. 1 times 50 makes 50, 2 times 25, 5 times 10, all of those make 50. So if we're looking for a combination that includes a perfect square, we can look at our list and say which one of those includes a perfect square. And the answer is 2 times 25. The square root of 25 equals 5. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down square root of 25 times 2. Those obviously they multiply to make 50. And now we're almost done. So the square root of 25 is 5. So when we have 25 inside a square root, we can simplify it down simply to 5. And we can bring the 2 down. And this is our answer. It's read as 5 root 2. That's how we read it, how we say it. And what this means is it's 5 times the square root of 2 makes the square root of 50. You wouldn't think it just by looking at it, but it is the case. Just a quick refresher on what a square root means in case you've made it to the end of the video and you're like, oh, I didn't get it, which is okay. A square root, what it means here is, for instance, with the 25, since it's a perfect square, it's easier to explain. There are two numbers, or one number, multiplied by itself that makes 25. And that's 5. 5 times 5, which is also written as 5 squared, equals 25. So 5 times 5, which is again called 5 squared, or 5 to the second power, equals 25. A square root is undoing that square. It's doing the opposite. It's the inverse operation of squaring. So hopefully this is an easy way of simplifying a square root, at least when you only have numbers. We'll talk about next time when you add those dreaded variables in it. It's not too bad. Thanks.